I'm sure you're familiar with the saying, the more you date, the more dateable you become. And now the same can be said of the job search process. I want to encourage you guys to never disengage from your job search process. And that does not mean that you have to apply for every single job out there. It does not mean that you need to attend every single interview out there. But what it does mean is that you want to stay in touch with what your particular job market is doing, how it's performing, what is in demand, and what the value is of your skills are out there in the market. And how you do this is you engage with recruiters as they contact you. And how that works is firstly, you're going to make sure you've got a profile out there, perhaps on LinkedIn, that's doing all the hard work for you. You're also going to cultivate a network of people that are going to refer you for possible opportunities. And when those calls come from a recruiter, you are going to be ready for them. I'll be honest with you guys, in my 17 years in corporate, I never ever turned down the opportunity to engage with a recruiter and hear more about a particular job. And this helped me to understand what the skills are that are in demand in my industry and how I can then use that information as I navigate my career, even in my present job. And how you do that is as follows. So, when a recruiter does make contact with you, and we know those calls always come at the most inopportune time, you're busy doing your shopping or you're about to step into a meeting, they're mostly going to ask you, are you currently in the job market? And here's how I would answer. I would say, I'm currently not actively looking, but I would consider making a move in my career at this point. And now that is going to prompt the recruiter to tell you about this position. And once they've done that, you can say the following. That really sounds like a move that I would be quite happy to explore, or that really sounds like a position that I'd like to hear more about. I am, however, about to go into a meeting and I've got a full day of meetings coming up ahead. Would it be possible for us to maybe meet tomorrow and we can discuss this position in more detail? And I can also tell you a bit more about myself. And now what that does is it's going to make sure that the recruiter sets an appointment with you. And that's where you want to be. All right. You could also follow it up with saying, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning sounds great. Would it be possible if you could maybe send me an invite in my calendar just so that nothing else comes into my calendar that's going to block that time? And why this is effective is as follows. When that recruiter contacts you, they are giving you a buying signal for what your next employer possibly is looking for. They are going to give you information about possible roles out there, the skills that are in demand, and you can then use that. If you don't want to make a move, you can use that as you navigate your current position. And of course, if you are looking for a new position, it's also really valuable. So firstly, let's break down that call. So when they ask you, are you currently in the market? And your response is, I'm not actively looking right now. Now that already elevates you in the mind of the recruiter, okay? It gives them the view that you are not on every single job board out there, you're not attending 1,000,001 interviews, and that you are most likely somebody who's a top performer in their current role and your company really values you and they are taking good care of you. There you go. Tick, you are elevated in the eyes of the recruiter. The next thing that you say is that you would consider making a move. And again, what that does is it gives the recruiter the signal that you are going to be discerning in the move that you make. You want to know more about this particular position. And it also positions you in a way that you're not just saying, choose me, choose me, choose me, I'm so desperate. But what you are saying is, I might be open to a move. Now you sell it to me. Now you see that how that elevates you as well. And when they conclude that call and you've now set an appointment, you also then go from being just a name on a CV out of 250, you now become somebody that is skilled, that is valuable, and that they are looking forward to meeting. Now, here's another trick. What it also does, it gives you the chance to be able to very quickly, when you're back home, you're done with your shopping or you're out of your meetings, you can now very quickly go and check out that company, do a little bit of research, and then tweak your CV to align with that. And before that meeting, you send them your new CV that has positioned you and branded you as the suitable candidate for this particular position. And now, once you've met with the recruiter, you no longer are one of 250 applicants, but you are rather one of 10. So your chances for success in this role are much higher. Here's how you can use it if you are really happy in your job and you don't want to make a move. When they highlight to you and they explain to you what the skills are that are needed in the market right now or what that particular role is all about, you can then go and do a little bit of research as well and just see how is the market actually moving and compare your current skill set to what is in demand, and then start to position yourself in your current company to be able to take on a role or a function within your current role or a project or whatever the case may be that is going to give you the opportunity to gain those valuable skills. I'll give you an example of how I've done this in my career. So approximately 9-10 years ago, I'd received a call from someone about a position that centered around HR systems. Now at that point I'd worked on a number of HR systems, but mainly as the end user. I had no idea of the back end, the development and all of that. But that gave me a sign that this could be something valuable for me in my career moving forward. And so what I then did was, and we were at a time in the company that I worked for where there was a lot of change and a lot of systems and processes were changing. So I then started to plant the seeds in my manager that I was interested in taking on something to do with HR systems. And so when we changed our HR system, I was then the lead in implementing that system, designing that system, and the rest is history. I'm now able to use those skills currently in my business, and also I now know that I was absolutely spot on because tech in HR is the new big thing. So you see how it can help you when you take this approach, not just if you're an active job seeker, but also if you are passively, maybe just exploring the market, but you also want to grow your career. Guys, as always, I hope that's something that's helpful, and please don't ever lose touch with what's happening in your particular job market.